So I'm going to explain why the market always punishes people who want to become profitable. And what I mean by this is, in my case, I've had a really good strategy that has worked really well the whole of 2025, but the last 3 months, I've seen that it doesn't work that well anymore. And this strategy has given me really high risk reward and has helped me a lot in my trading and made everything so much simpler. But I can clearly see that market conditions are changing. So why does the market punish me if I keep trading this strategy? People get really attached to a strategy. They build up expectations and they think that this strategy is really good, and they're really afraid to not be able to execute that strategy anymore because it feels so safe, it feels so familiar, and they think that this is the holy grail. The market is going to completely punish this and going to completely destroy. First, it's going to destroy you mentally, and then it's going to take your account. It always happens in this sequence. First, it takes your mental capital, then it's easy for it to just take your capital as well. So what ends up happening is you keep hoping that the strategy is going to work. You may reduce your risk to 0.5% and you still take it, even though you're not that convinced anymore. But you can't accept that it may not work, because if it then works, then that's too much for you to handle. So what ends up happening? What ends up happening is you start to second guess your strategy, you start to second guess yourself, and the market has then hijacked you mentally. And at that point, you don't think clearly anymore. When you don't think clearly about a setup, a strategy, you should completely abandon that setup and strategy. Even though it may work, it's not like there is no point anymore. You've lost mentally already. The battle is already lost mentally. So you just throw away that strategy and you don't look back and you don't care about it anymore. Why am I telling you this? Because no strategy in the world means anything. There are so many strategies out there. One strategy in itself has no value and should hold no value to you as a trader. You shouldn't care about it. You should be able to abandon it the second it doesn't feel right anymore. So the market is going to keep punishing you if you trade that strategy and if you're not able to let go and adjust. The best traders are always able to adjust quickly to changes. That means you can trade a strategy, but then if you see that it's not looking that good anymore, you should abandon that strategy. There are no rules, remember this, there are no rules in the market. The market is chaos, and people try as hard as they can to look for patterns that are not there, and they try to break down the market in order to get some control over the situation, but that's just an illusion. You can't control the market, and it's not always going to be logical either. The market can do anything. It's not like chess where the opponent has to follow some sort of rules. The market can do anything it wants, and you have to realize how little control you hold over the market. People say stuff like, but the market should have done this. I can't tell you how many times the market has almost reached an obvious level and then it didn't reach it, because they know that people have their TPs, take profits at those levels. So they almost reach that level and then it reverses, and it happens a lot. The market doesn't care. The market is only trying to take your capital. But the thing is, the one thing you have to understand about the market is that they can't hide anything from you. The market can't actually hide anything. The market can't hide the truth from you. You know the truth deep within yourself when you look at the markets. But the market is going to try to use deception on you, but it can't actually beat you. You have to allow it to beat you. It's trying to beat you in your mind. That's the only thing it can do. It can't beat you, like, actually, if you do the right things. Because the market can't hide the real move. At the end of the day, if the market was too random, then no one could have made money. And that's never going to happen. Someone has to make money. So they try as hard as they can to bait you, to rage bait you, to manipulate you. And it can be something as simple as almost reaching your TP and then it reverses. Or it can be like I said with a strategy where you have a really good strategy that works, and then they suddenly decide to not let that strategy work anymore. Or they can even just to be mean to you, like they can give you something that looks really similar so that you think, oh shit, so they just stopped me out and then it worked. But like, they do all this to play with your mind. Then at that point you shouldn't be risking 2% on that session. That's too much. Like, that's not profitable. Yes, you know, maybe know where the market is going, but where's your risk management? Like, don't let the market get in your head. Just think about that. Like, you don't get a diploma for being smart in the market. The smartest people are going to lose in the market because they think that their pattern recognition skills is going to work, or that you get a diploma for being smart or predicting the market. You don't get that. The market isn't fair. The market doesn't care. Oftentimes it does the complete opposite of what makes logical sense to you anyways. So that's like that's like teaching a pig how to fly. Like, you're wasting your time. If you are so smart, don't try to be smart in the market because you're just gonna lose. So your job is to not take the bait, not try to predict the market all the time, and just don't be stupid, basically. Like, don't let the market play with your mind. Just wait for what's obvious and then take a trade and then be done. And my biggest tip for you is to, if you want to be consistently profitable, trade the same way. Do consistent action. That means you don't trade one specific setup one day and then something completely different the next one. Like, your trades should look like relatively identical, because if they don't, then you're not consistent. Like, you may get some payout, but you will lose. I go over this live every single day in my Discord, which is linked down below in the description, where I give my live market analysis every single day. I tell you which days are high probability, which days are low probability, and what traps you should watch out for so you don't become a victim. Because in this game, it's not about being smart. You get punished for trying to be smart in the market. Your job is to completely detach of everything you think you know every single time you go into a new session, and you have to look at what price action is telling you there and then. I don't care about what happened last month. I don't care about last week. I care about what can I see on the chart in front of me here and now. And if you're in this game long enough, you will get some sort of clue of what's likely to happen next. And it's not because you have a perfect strategy and you're so rule based. It's because you just observe the market over a long enough period of time. And then when you don't fall for the bait, when you don't try to be smart anymore, and when you don't care about the strategy, if it doesn't work anymore, you just look at price action, what it tells you live in front of your face, and you execute on it. That's it. You have no expectation. You don't care. You don't center your whole life and identity around trading either. You focus on other stuff as well. You develop yourself in other areas, and you feel proud of yourself in other areas as well. If you lose a week in the market, you just laugh about it and you're like, that's not even my fault. The market was just difficult this week. I don't care. Everyone else probably lost as well. So who cares? that's it for today. I wish you good luck. Don't be a victim, be the 1%.